If folks have been disappearing from your life, it's probably because God is reducing your circle because he's heard conversations that you didn't.
Whoop, whoop, bloop, bloop. Story we need in 2025.
But the
delusion is the word for 2025. Why would we live in their delusion when we can live in our own?
The confidence.
This is how we create
opportunity,
Black future,
and Delulu.
We can.
That's all you need. I'm convinced that you're part of my soul family because, like, how do we match every single time? We're not even doing this on purpose. Like, it's not like, hey, girl, what are you wearing?
I know.
Like, literally, we just show up.
And this is uncanny.
How is this the same?
This is not
it's
planned.
Okay. Anyways,
the autoresponder
is on. Episode 10.
10 episodes.
We are
10
out of
episodes.
office.
That's right.
If you are new here, I am Nikki.
And I am Jane.
And we start our podcast with an out of office reply.
Yes. And we are so happy to have you here. However, if you're like us and you're out of office, maybe this will give you some inspiration.
Yes.
And we do it in case you can't.
Exactly.
What's your out of office reply?
I have been inspired by the one and only Onijah Robinson. If you know, you know. And my out of office reply is, it's against my religion to tell you my business. That's my out of office.
I saw that video and then I saw all the rest of them and I almost was like watching with my hand over my face because of my eyes because I'm like, I can't bear to watch because this has to take a turn.
Man, it is. I will give you the full breakdown if you are not familiar with Onijah. But yes, that is my out of office reply.
Okay, well, in the same vein, actually, similarly, my out of office reply is, thank you for your email. I am currently minding my business. That means that all of my 2025 business is fully minded. Please direct any inquiries that are new business or that are other people's business to 2026. Thank you and be blessed.
So is that out of office reply going to be like your thing every week? Because it feels like you're just like, this is my out of office reply.
I say it in different ways.
Yeah, you do.
It's the same concept,
because
basically.
It's really no.
Get somebody else to do it.
Or get somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
And
I'm not
honestly,
the one.
Or the two.
I'm not the one or the two.
Apparently not even the 3-2.
Exactly.
Either. So.
Or the 2-5.
Or anything. Just
definitely
not the one. How's your week been, actually?
You know what? It's been great. I feel very blessed and fortunate.
You have a glow to you. And I'm not just talking about the sparkles, but for real, you have a glow to your face. You look so happy.
I had a birthday.
Oh my gosh, yes!
Yes,
Happy birthday!
I don't know what year. I think I've turned 30-something again, even though I have not been in my 30s for almost 10 years.
So what did you end up...
I'm holding steady.
I remember you saying last week...
We've reached altitude. We're cruising.
You're cruising now.
We've reached cruising altitude. We're just holding steady. Holding steady. Another year has passed.
Oh my gosh.
People are gonna be like, how old are you? I'm like, cruising altitude.
Cruising altitude. That's fair. Achieved. What did you do?
My birthday?
Yes.
I ate pancakes.
I love that.
My mom was in town.
That's right.
I love that for me too.
Did
it was
she make
fantastic.
you pancakes?
No, we went and got them at Doechii. If you're an LA person, institution, the farmer's market.
This
Doechii, they have great pancakes.
is new to me.
Yeah. Gotta do it.
What kind of cupcake? Oh, no, not cupcakes.
Every
pancakes.
kind of pancake.
What? Like chocolate chip, blueberry?
Anything you can imagine.
What did you get?
I got the regular kind.
Just regular buttermilk?
Buttermilk. But, okay, here's the cheat code. Here's the cheat code. If you go to Doechii,
yes.
You're in LA.
Yes.
If you're listening, you're coming to LA, if you live in LA, go to Doechii, you have to get, so they give you maple syrup. But what you have to ask for is the melted butter on the side. Because they're going to give you a little ramekin pourry thing of maple syrup. You got to ask for the melted butter pourry thing.
So do they already add melted butter or do you?
They do put butter on them, but you should get
butter.
more because if you're going to do the pancakes, you got to go all the way. This is a, every so often kind of treat. So you got to go all the way.
Okay, I'm locked in.
Yeah, you got to lock in. You got to do it.
Okay.
Do it.
So do it. Melted butter. And then now my mouth is watering. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you gotta do the melted butter, but any kind of whatever, they have all kinds of pancakes. They have everything you can imagine.
Ooh.
But I just get the buttermilk, but the cheat code is the melted butter on the side.
Is it busy? Like
no. Well, there are some days it's really busy, but we went in the late morning. And that was what I wanted.
Love this.
And then actually, because they're not open on Tuesdays, I got to give a shout out. So again, another LA place discovered. It's called Connie, Coni apostrophe seafood. So there's one in Inglewood and there's one on Centinela in like West LA. They have this grilled fish. It's like split open and then seasoned with like, I don't know, Italian. There's some kind of amazing grilled seasoning. It's just so well seasoned, but that's not the whole thing. They give you the fish that's just grilled and it has this like amazing marinade or whatever. It's just like open, like, if you get a whole, I'm
so hungry right now.
What is the fish that they, I'm sorry.
I'm so hungry right now. We do this
all the time. We just, the fish that they, anyway, branzino. So it's like, but it's bigger than that. So they give you that and then they give you this side of grilled onions, caramelized onions. And then they give you tortillas. And it's just the flaky fish, the caramelized, the caramelized onions, and then the tortilla on the tortilla. It is delicious. So that was my pre-birthday dinner.
Oh my gosh.
I ate. I ate for my birthday.
Yes, I need this food.
So anyway, I'm moving along.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Thank you.
Birthday.
Well, you look radiant as usual.
Thank you.
The Valentine's nails are in effect.
Yes, I love them so much. They have hearts on them, like little baby hearts, and then one big heart. It's not that I'm obsessed with Valentine's. I just love hearts and the color red. So I just wanted to bring that back.
Well, yellow is like your color. I mean, yellow is like my color.
Yes, I feel like yellow is both of our colors.
It is.
Because we look great in yellow.
We do. I mean, so again, for people who see the video, you got to go to YouTube. We did not plan. We are in the exact same color, exact same shade of yellow. As last week when we did the episode taping, we were in gray with gray top, black leggings, and Doc Martens. Yeah. So but we didn't plan it, and we didn't plan this week.
We never plan it.
I'm in a sequin yellow dress because it's our 10th episode that my mom got me for my birthday. I did not even own this last week.
And this has been in my closet for a long time. This is an old H&M top.
The universe is accelerating. We're locked in. So yeah, this is unintentional matching, but we're synced up. So this is going to be a really good episode.
I hope so.
So Black Girl Big Up, AKA I See You Girl segment.
Yes.
You got a good one. I'm with you on this one.
Well, I love Doechii. And the Grammys was last week, and she won Rap Album of the Year. She's the third woman after Cardi B and Lauryn Hill to win the award. She brought her mom on the stage. She totally deserved it. When I say I've really been enjoying how and sometimes people think this is a dirty word, but like how mainstream she's gotten because people now really know her, and I think it was her Fallon performance that really. Set it off. And I remember seeing her opening for Beyonce a few years back. So
she had that
song and I don't know.
I don't think it gave us a sense of her real artistry.
Correct.
So then she kind of was like, and I think she felt that way also. There's like, I was singing this, but this really isn't me. It doesn't give me a full range to express my full creativity.
I think the people that knew her before that song knew she had it in her, but I think that was a little bit of like a shift. But either way, I love how unapologetic she is, and her speech was everything. And I'm just so happy for her. It's just amazing. And then I also found out that the girl that does my hair, Stephanie Bird, she's a braider in LA.
Yeah,
she was part of the team that did the hair for the dance crew.
I love that they're doing
that
the
performance was
and
everything.
There's so much that can be done with braiding, like all kinds of different. One day I'm going to get a design Maybe I'll get my name spelled in cursive
I bet you Stephanie could do that. You should do Stephanie.
I'm going to try.
It's my girl. But yeah, Doechii's great.
TBD.
I love that. She was funny too. Outside of giving a great speech, she rolled her eyes at a joke that Trevor Noah had.
At the Grammys.
Yes. It didn't land, I don't think. Well, no, I know it didn't land because no one really laughed. But she rolled her eyes really hard. And her face said it all. It was really funny because I think he said something about like the 13,000 like members of the Recording Academy and 20 million immigrants and that voted, and she literally gave him the biggest eye roll I've ever seen on national television.
He's saying like, okay,
it was really funny, but she's always been this thing. She's always been about herself. She's always been encouraging. I even found a video of her when she was 16. And she said something like, successful people don't give up. Like, she knew she was always going to make it. So it's always great to see someone make it knowing that they've always been that person. They've always seen themselves in that light. So congrats to Doechii.
Congrats to Doechii. Well, I saw your reference in the show notes when I was going through and being extra prepared for this episode. Because some episodes, y'all, I think you might know, and be coming in here real hot. So this time I had some preparation time. So I did some research on Doechii, and there are videos where she basically manifested. So she talks about her manifestation of this moment. And then there's a video floating around where she was fired, and she's like, well, I'm glad I got fired.
Yes,
I'm going to handle my business. So then I was like, let me go deeper in the crates. So I went to her YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So Doechii has been doing YouTube videos for the past 10 years. She has her entire process documented in video. So if you are an artist or if you have any artistic inclination at whatever age, if you're listening and you're like, wow, I really have something it's on my spirit to do this, but I don't feel confident or I don't know how it's done, or I look at somebody and I'm admiring them, but I don't feel like it's for me. Let me help you change that story that you're telling yourself. Go to Doechii's YouTube channel, because the whole process is documented.
That's amazing.
So I watched a video of hers where she, we're going to put this in the show notes because I actually picked this link up in particular, where she's discussing building her business. And she lays out her business plan. She's talking to her viewers, and she's like, here's my business plan. This is what I'm about to do. I'm about to turn myself. She has her company is I Am Doechii. She was like, I'm going to start doing merch. I'm going to offer merch. I guess she filmed this video during the pandemic, and she's like, I'm going to start offering merch, and I want to convert more of I want to see what my buying power is. Meaning that at what level will her viewers buy from her, and what do they want to buy from her? So she went through her whole strategy, So I would just encourage you, if you're a Doechii fan or just a fan of artistry in general, or how people come into being a full-time creative or even part-time creative, I would just recommend checking out her YouTube
I love that
page.
Good for her.
Well, I have another ICU girl.
Yeah.
This is Dr. Jessica Marie Johnson. She's an associate professor in history, the history department at Johns Hopkins. So I came across her. She had a shared post with Brittany Cooper, who I follow, who, AKA Professor Crunk on Instagram.
Professor Crunk.
Professor Crunk. Shout out to Dr. Cooper. And so the post that caught my attention. It said why we should use the language of resegregation orders when we're talking about these DEI rollbacks. So she was saying that the language that we're using is very, very important. Instead of parroting the messaging that we're getting from mainstream media, we need to characterize it in the truth of what it actually is. And so eliminating DEI, which stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion, maybe we shouldn't even call it DEI. We should call it diversity, equity, and inclusion. So eliminating and going after diversity, equity, and inclusion in our society is basically resegregation. And so that's what they're after.
Wow.
And so we need to call it what it is, as opposed to using the shorthand that we've been provided. We need to speak in the truth of the matter. So there's an incredible post on her Substack this was what was posted and kind of what circulated and what I saw. And she said, if you're against the words of diversity, equity, inclusion, you need to examine your values. You're against diversity. You don't want to be in a diverse space. you don't want to see people who are not exactly like you around you, then say that. You're against equity. You don't think things should be equalized in our society, that we shouldn't have a society that benefits some people for no reason and no merit versus other people who might work hard but don't get what they actually deserve. You're for a society that supports inequality, that excludes people even though they deserve to be somewhere. You're for a society that is against. You want to eliminate inclusion in our society. You don't want to include people, and you only want people like you. So that's segregation. Then you want segregation. You want a society of people who benefit only because they're like you. Say what it is. If that's what it is.
That's right.
So she's saying we need to tell our stories the way that we want them told, and stop repeating the narratives that we're given. Tell the truth. So, and she said that the resegregation orders that came out of this administration and that continue to come are not rollbacks. They are resegregation orders. And they are also not written in stone as the future. The future is unwritten. The future is ours. So don't concede the future.
All
That's
right,
what she
Natasha
said.
Bedingfield.
Don't concede the future.
Yes.
That was the takeaway. So it's worth a read. Her Substack post is, I gave you kind of the highlights to the marketing of why you should read this post in its fullness. But it's important to, I think, in the moment that we're in. Obviously, we're out of office, but part of that is a pause. And part of resting is to pause and stop and to cast off the things that we don't want, to decide in the pause what we want to take and what we don't want to take.
Right.
And I think that allows us to stop automatically doing these, parroting the media narrative, taking on, maybe we can step back and examine, is that actually the truth? If I want to communicate with somebody about this.
Right. Is that really what it is?
Is that really what it is? Even though using the language that the media gives us an immediate shared understanding of what we're talking about, sometimes we need to take a step back and use a little bit extra time and effort to make sure that we're actually speaking about the truth.
That's true.
In this space.
I mean, it's part of turning the TV off is doing that, right?
Yeah.
And being able to formulate your own opinions and thoughts.
And your own language and tell your own story.
And also in your own language, too, because I feel like, we're not going to focus on this in the whole podcast.
Of course not.
But there's I think we reached almost if not there, a critical point where we really have to sit back and really digest everything that's being thrown at us, because it's a lot. Every day.
That's the strategy, though. It
is
the
their
strategy is to overwhelm.
Flood the zone, as I think Bannon and Steve Bannon calls it.
So now we know that. Right.
So we know they're flooding the zone.
Yeah.
So we can't react so swiftly because that's what they expect us to do. It's also because it's also distracting.
Right.
And we really need to what was her name?
This is Dr. Jessica Marie
Johnson.
Dr. Johnson.
I think she's right. Dr. Johnson is absolutely right. We need to take a pause and really figure out a path forward. And the future is unwritten. I think right now it's really easy to fall for the, everything's on fire, which is true. Everything is on fire. Maybe too soon to say that because we're in LA. But the world's trash, right? It is. Mm-hmm. But there's still a lot of good in it. There's still a lot of joy to be had in it. And I think we all need to figure out what our role is.
Right.
Because you know what my role is? My role is I'm not marching.
No.
Right?
And everybody doesn't need to do that.
Exactly. Everyone doesn't need to do that. I'm not writing Substacks. That's not what I'm doing. Right. But what I am doing is hosting a podcast with my friend here where we can exchange ideas, and hopefully people listening at home, it'll spark something within them that they can share within their community and so on and so on, right?
Right.
It's that ripple effect, right?
And I actually got feedback from a regular listener who was saying that this podcast in particular was a balm for them, that this was just what they needed in the moment to hear.
Oh,
and
good.
And that they look forward to every one of our episodes because we acknowledge what's happening, but our focus is different. Our focus is on healing, on
pursuing radical joy.
Yeah,
like we always say.
Pursuing radical joy, and despite the circumstances that we're in. So
correct.
Yes, this
Speaking of radical joy. No, I'm joking.
Speaking of radical joy.
No, actually, yes, this is a joyful thing that I found out about. Yeah, what I'm on right now.
I'm on right now.
So as I mentioned in the last week's episode, it's Black History Month. Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
And so what I'm on right now is just that. So every episode, there's going to be a Black fact that I'm going to put y'all onto. So in 1949, the U.S. military held its first aerial gunner competition, which would later be known as Top Gun. And the first team that won was the 332nd Tuskegee Airmen. But they refused to announce a winner. Shocker. Their victory went unacknowledged for many decades, but thanks to retired Lieutenant Colonel James Harvey and the AARP Wish of a Lifetime program, the Air Force officially recognized the accomplishment of these men. So basically, Maverick is Black.
Of course. Because of course. Because of course.
Just of course.
But was recast for the movie.
Yes. So anyway, so I love that fun fact. Now, this isn't Black History yet.
Okay.
But it will be. I think I'm very, very excited for this. So in just under 90 days.
Yes.
We will have this year's Met Gala.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Me too, girl. They announced their host committee and the dress code, which is called Tailored for You, earlier this week. The theme, if you guys are not aware, is called Superfine, Tailoring Black Style. It's being hosted by Anna Wintour and Colman Domingo, Lewis Hamilton, A$AP Rocky, a whole bunch of others. Members of the committee include Doechii, of course, Spike Lee and his wife Tanya, Chimamanda Ngozi, Andre 3000. In other words, it's going to be hella Black.
Hella Black. I can't wait for these photographs.
Oh my gosh. It's drawing us inspiration from Monica Miller's 2009 book, which is titled Slaves to Fashion, Black Dandyism and the Styling of Black Diasporic Identity. So the exhibition is going to have 12 sections, including ownership, presence, distinction, disguise, freedom, champion, respectability, juk, which is actually a takeaway from like Zora Neale Hurston's characteristics of a Negro. And then, which is focusing on like drinking and dancing, heritage, beauty, cool, and cosmopolitanism.
I love this.
And Kwame Onwuchi's doing the food.
Hey, of course. Of
Tatiana and Dogon. I think that's the other restaurant. Fame. I have not had the pleasure of patronizing either. I'm still waiting for that moment. But I did.
Me too. We need to go to New York.
I try to get a reservation, but it's always booked.
Really?
But I tried when he was the executive chef at Kith and Kin in DC, like many years ago. I tried his food there and it was delicious.
Well, let's put this on a manifestation. You heard it here. Mm-hmm. The girls of We Are Out of Office are headed to Tatiana for a reservation in NYC.
Yes.
Kwame, if somebody who knows Kwame and you're listening to this, let him know we need a table for two.
Yes. Please, stat. Oh, actually, I do know someone now that I think about it.
We need a table for two. See, it's going to happen.
I do know someone. Okay, well,
let's set a time. Let's set a timeline.
We'll offline it.
Let's set a timeline for it. In the next 6 months, 4 months. In the next 4 months?
No, 6 months. I think that's realistic.
In the next 6 months.
Yes.
And we'll report back, y'all.
But Met Gala.
This is how you manifest.
I'm ready.
I'm here for it.
I'm ready for Met Gala.
I'm here for it. Okay, so this will be your segment for this month, and I'm going to do Black Future Month. So you do Black History, and I'm going to do Black Future.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Look at us doing a thing.
Yeah, so what I'm on right now as part of the Black Future Month in Black History Month.
Black History and Black Future.
You got to do Black History Month and Black Future Month. So we got to know where we've been, because we know that lets us know we are capable of, and where we're going, because we're capable of getting there. So what I'm on right now, I'm doing a very deep focused meditation of what do I want. This is my meditation right now. And it takes so much effort and focus to determine what do I want and to be able to answer this question. So to even as a writer, because it's such a nebulous thought. I think I operate in the space of satisfaction and dissatisfaction. And so I have a visceral response to what I'm getting, but I don't, and I feel like I'm so much in that space, I don't have a chance to really like lean back and think, what do I want though? What do I want?
That's real.
And so that's my meditation for Black Future Month. And I think that's what I would challenge people listening to think about this. Actually, can you name what you want right now as a list, what you most want? Not like, oh, I really want
a piece of chocolate cake.
I want a piece of chocolate cake. Not
that's
like
what I
that.
want right now.
Yeah,
but
deeply in your soul, what do you want? And so I don't know if somebody else has ever said this before, but this is how I feel. The hardest words for anyone to pronounce are those of the honest and accurate answer to the question of what do you want? The hardest words for anyone to pronounce are those of the honest and accurate answer to the question of what do you want? So in the spirit of Doechii,
yes.
I'm spending a month developing the answer to that question. So the one thing I have these notes that I don't want to like forget anything because it was just so deep when I was thinking about how am I celebrating Black Future Month alongside Black History Month. And the idea, Doechii's a pen name or is a stage name.
Yeah.
So I looked that up too. I was like, what's her real name? Is her name Doechii? Like, was her mom like,
right.
I'm going to name this baby Doechii. I'm like, really? Like, was she sitting there in the living room with like bamboo earrings? Like, you know, I'm like, but no, Doechii was a name she came up with for herself in her life. She was bullied, I guess, and she came up with an alter ego who was like, well, this alter ego version of me would not stand for that stuff. So she created an alternate version of herself.
Wow.
And this is who has gone forward, which is similar to what I did with Jane Allen. I mean, it's a pen name for me, but it's a creative space. It's a creation. It's a space I created. And so I live into that space, and it's a blank slate, basically, apart from judgment, from norms, from rules, from customs, and I'm able to divorce myself from that. And I think in answering this question of what do I want, you have to answer it completely separate from norms, rules, customs, opinions, judgments, appropriateness, respectability, and in particular, fear of consequences or repercussions. So apart from fear. And if you take all those things away and then you ask yourself honestly, like with nobody watching, what do you want? What do I want? That's my meditation. So I'm thinking about what would I like to experience just out of pure curiosity.
Yeah.
Out of pleasure, out of interest. Like what do I want?
Well, let me ask you this, because I feel like you've been doing this for a while. You've been taking singing lessons.
Yeah.
And you also took some surf lessons.
Yeah.
So how are they coming along? Or are you finding that like, okay, I've done that. Let me move on to something else?
Yeah. Well, the surf lesson was for my book, for my character. So I would like to go back to that. So the commitment I made was to the voice lesson. Mm-hmm. So I go every week. So what I did with that, because when I first started, I felt so wrong for doing it, because we always have like, well, what's that for? Why? Because I want to, and we don't really have a space for that.
Right.
That I'm just doing. No, there's no like, this is not for my job. This is not, I'm not required to do it by anybody. I don't have a plan of how it's going to make me money. None of it. It's just for my creative expression and pure joy and pleasure and interest. And because I don't want to feel like I can't do something. I want to go to karaoke and be like, I want to see the hands waving and be able to tear the place down if I want to on Tuesday night, or whatever it is. So, I mean, just for whatever. So, but the way that I looked at it was that I'm going to go every week. The commitment I made was not to take a singing lesson. It was to do it for a year.
Oh.
And not look up.
I didn't even know it was for a year.
With no purpose, with no goals, with no anything other than to complete a year of once a week singing lessons. So that was the actual exercise. So I think I've done like 4 months. I told you I can almost sing.
Not almost sing.
No, I can almost sing for real. I told you. You're going to see.
Wait, so are you going to perform for us then?
At some point.
Oh, I would love.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna be so capable. I mean, I had no plan of this. Like, my only goal was to go to singing lessons once a week for a year.
We need you to.
So yeah.
We need to schedule this.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Anyway, but I've got all the links for what do I have in the show notes? Oh, actually, the asking yourself, what do you want? I'll put some of that in the show notes, but I don't have anything other than what I said in the episode just now.
But I do like what you just said, spend one day speaking only in delusion.
Yeah, well, that was part of it.
Because my Jesus Take the Wheel, she has embodied that 1,000 trillion %.
Well, go ahead.
So this week's Jesus Take the Wheel is dedicated to Onijah Robinson.
Who inspired your out of office.
Who inspired my out of office. She is the American lady in Pakistan. And I want to shout out Bilal Hassan for keeping us up to date on the goings on of Onijah. Because
you got to give this story. If you have not seen
she has single-handedly, in the last 4 or 5 days, changed how people view Pakistan. Because prior to this,
because it takes a Black woman.
Of course, duh. Michael Jackson was talking about Black women when he said, "You want to be starting something, got to be starting something." Okay, so Onijah, who has been there since October, fell in love with a young boy named Ahmad, I think. They got married online.
Oh,
and she shows up. And
he's 19 and she's 30 something.
30 something, he's 19. So she shows up and something happened. The details aren't 100% cleared, but apparently she catfished him with a Nicki Minaj filter. And there are photos flying around somewhere, not flying. They're floating around on TikTok somewhere. No, hold on. I got to get through the story because you need to know. When you say speak only in delusion, Onijah got it down. Okay. So she had a Nicki Minaj filter talking to this young man, got married. He was like, "You're my wife. Come through." She gets there.
She came through. Nicki Minaj didn't come through.
No,
Onijah came through.
Okay.
And he was
so he goes, and then as far as we know, he goes, "Excuse me," and then ghosts her and disappears. He's hiding somewhere in Pakistan right now.
Oh, he's got into hiding.
And he's hiding.
He's got into
Just
hiding.
put a pin in this because I'm going to get back to that. So I don't know what she's been doing since the family ghosted her in January.
Okay.
But somehow she showed up at the airport and she looked like she was in distress. So basically the country has welcomed her. Like she was given a humanitarian visa, which is now extended till February 11th.
She came there on a tourist visa.
And
the country gave her
a humanitarian visa because she was this is how I found her. There was a video on TikTok where she goes, "Hello, my name is Onijah Robinson and I want to go home. I need someone to buy me a plane ticket." And I'm like, this can't be real. I cheers, my mom said. It was real. So she got a humanitarian visa. She has been taken in and dubbed the daughter of Pakistan.
What?
They have fed her. They have clothed her. She has a bodyguard. She has a team now.
What?
She has a bodyguard and a police officer named Shabana who has been taking care of her. Shabana got a makeover too. While Onijah got her hair braided, there's a video of her getting her hair braided. Shabana got her hair done.
This is amazing.
She has been holding press conferences where she has been demanding money and land, and she has pledged that she wants to make Pakistan great. She wants to build schools and hotels. She has also been dropping gems, as one I've used in the out of office reply earlier. She would say, "I'm not talking unless y'all giving me land."
Wow.
It's against my religion to tell you my business. It's none of your business. Go home. Okay. Prior to Onijah, all we've known about Pakistan is that it was a home of terrorists. That's where Osama bin Laden got caught. But I didn't realize that Pakistan has been trying to rebrand the country for years, and they have paid
And you never know.
social media influencers to do the job, and they didn't do the job. But Onijah goes there.
Has done it.
And did it in 5 days. So now you have people, black women especially, like, let me find out I need to go to Pakistan to go get me a man
and some land
and
$10,000 in my pockets.
Even though Ahmad turned her down,
rebuild the country.
Listen,
I mean, if
America was smart,
right,
they would give Onijah the job because
she already got herself the job. She got herself the job.
This is a very bizarre tourism ad for Pakistan. But you have women talking about some.
I kind of feel like I want to go right now.
That's what I'm saying.
At this point,
I wouldn't be surprised if Pakistan became a destination for many in the next couple of years. This one woman said India's going to be jealous of Pakistan, and that the Prime Minister Modi, is going to go and recruit like Black American celebrities to go to visit India. And she was like, and watch it be Tiffany Haddish. And then I told my friend this, and she was like, no, Israel has Tiffany. And I was like, oh, that's a good point. So who is going to
go? Who's going to do it?
Who's going to do it for India?
Who's the delegation? You need to create a delegation. But see, the thing about Onijah, which I feel like whoever's, as she's gone mainstream and gone viral, people don't realize is that in every urban city, there are many Onijahs.
Many.
I know several Onijahs in Detroit who have even bigger personalities. And if you put them in front of a camera, you will never leave your seat.
These people
you will be rolling on the floor.
When I say the way that they're responding to her,
she's just being herself.
And because she loves Ahmad, but she's gotten other marriage proposals and she's turned them down.
So are they actually married or they're not married?
I don't know, girl. In her mind, they're married.
She
and
said
also
it's
in
against
her
her
mind,
religion. If she won't tell us her business. That's her business.
It's her business. Also, she thinks she's married. She also, not she thinks she's married. She also thinks she's pregnant. So
how could she be pregnant?
Girl, I don't know. The point is, there was rumors that she was like in a mental institution. Apparently, it wasn't a mental institution. They were just checking up on her because she was so distressed. But what I'm saying is, this country has welcomed her with open arms. Why would she come back? I would get on that plane.
We're looking
because you got a whole crew now. You got a bodyguard. You got a police officer. You got people feeding you, clothing you.
She's gonna get what she asked for.
Why would you come back?
At this point, she's a celebrity. At this point, she has done the job. There is a job that was already existing. She just started doing the job and was better at it than the people that were hired.
That they paid.
So now she made a job for herself.
It's incredible.
Congratulations, Onijah.
We are on Onijah watch.
Congratulations.
Curtis, if you want to keep up with Onijah, I'm sure Bilal has posted another video on TikTok about her since this all's gone down. But since we've been recording.
This is the story we need in 2025.
But the
delusion is the word for 2025. Why would we live in their delusion when we can live in our own?
The confidence.
This is how we create
opportunity,
Black future,
and Delulu.
We can.
That's all you need.
What do you want?
Onijah is representative.
At this point, the world is your oyster.
Literally.
At this point, this is how we create Black future. In this Black History Month, now we know this is how we create. She is a living, breathing moment in Black history. In Black future. I'm going to give her a moment in Black future. That's right. She's Black future. I just have anywhere. I have to say, though, because I saw this somewhere, too. If a Pakistani woman fell in love with a dude from the Bronx or fell in love with a dude in LA or any other part of the country, would we have welcomed her the way Pakistan welcomed Onijah? Oh, absolutely not. Oh, no. We already know that. When you watch the videos, it depends you're just on her personality. Now, I think there's something
Fox
about
News
her in particular.
Would give her the business. There's no way. I'm just so shocked at how.
Well, we have something else going on here.
They welcomed her.
It's something to examine. I think we have to examine that. There is something to examine about what is going on in the overall energy and nature of our country. And I think that's a good question to ponder. and think about the environment that we have created here and that exists here versus elsewhere. Just seeing what this place is not in other places is just a moment to ask ourselves, is this what we want? Do we want this? You know what? This is the question of 2025. Is this what you want? What do you want? Because what we've created, we have an option, we have a choice to decide, is this what we want? Is this what we want to create? And I think I would much prefer the welcoming, using, entertaining environment that is being modeled for us by a different place.
Like, it's incredible. I just love how they're advocating for her, and they keep saying, we will take good care of her and we will send her back to you intact. And I'm like, the care. And also, final thought, and then we'll move on. The way that they describe her, they're not calling her Black American lady in Pakistan. They're literally calling her American lady in Pakistan, the American lady in Pakistan. They're treating her like a queen there.
Yeah. She is an American lady in Pakistan.
She is, but you know how we think.
Well, that's something that we've created here, and this is our opportunity to decide: do we want to continue to create this, or can we be informed by something being incredible. Modeled for us other places? I'll tell you one thing really quickly about that moment, about being seen as an American elsewhere, whereas in the United States, you can only be a Black American. Or if you are a Black American, you never get the experience of being an American without the qualifier of being Black.
Right.
When I was in France, I spent a summer, when I was younger, spent a summer in France on a kind of student exchange. And in the town I was in the south of France, and I was the only Black girl in the town. It was the south of France, near Perpignan. It was like near the Spanish border.
Oh, okay.
And there was like a disco for the youth in the town, and so
the disco's a club.
Yeah,
just in case.
Dance. It's like a dance party.
Yes.
So now I'm thinking in French and speaking in English. So,
right.
Nobody, they didn't speak. This is where I became fluent in French because nobody spoke English.
Right.
So we're on the Mediterranean Sea, and it was just beautiful. And I had a little young romance with this guy named Jean. Shout out to Jean, even though time has passed. But that moment was very cute when I was young. Jean was special. And so I had a little summer romance with Jean. I'm just thinking of the Mediterranean breeze and the fresh grilled fish, and it was an amazing time. And it was just this quaint little town where everybody kind of knew each other. Yeah. And by the end of the summer, which is around where this time when this happened, we kind of knew everybody. And I was staying with a family, and so I overheard these two guys asking, hey, about me, like asking where I was, like, because they didn't see me, but I saw them because I had just gotten there, and they were looking for me because like some whatever, and I guess who they were talking to didn't know who I was, and they were like, who is she? Like, I don't think I've seen her, but describe her. Who is she? Now remember, I told you I'm the only Black girl in the town, and they're like, oh, you know who she is? Of course, she's the American.
Right.
That was it. I got to hear that. And that was a magical moment for me in my life because I've never heard before that anyone describe me as an unqualified American, just American.
Right.
It was every time before that had been Black, and that was before American,
right.
Because you get less rights and privileges, basically. So, there's a qualification there. And so to just be an unqualified American, to have that moment where you hear that about yourself and somebody considered, and it was like, what?
Right.
And it made me understand so many things. But anyway, so yes, I think everybody to have that experience,
she's living
to even
it up.
Understand it. Yeah,
she's living it up. Kudos to you, Onijah. I hope
Onijah.
she does.
And kudos to everyone in that community that's embraced her.
I hope she does
showing
get
us
the help she needs, though, because it's clear she
clearly needs help.
Needs help.
Yes,
but God bless her.
God bless.
So anyways, moving on. Minding my black business. I know. I'm sorry. I'm extra.
So extra.
I'm so extra.
We love it.
Minding my black business.
Oh.
I can't sing.
You can, actually.
No.
Yeah, you can.
You being nice.
No, I'm not.
What do you want to talk about?
I would tell you if you...
Oh, you did. You have been taking lessons.
Because you can work on it. And so I would tell you...
That's right.
I know where you can take some lessons.
That's not my ministry, though.
Okay, but no, you're fine. Okay, so you got...
What you got?
Okay,
you go
so
first.
Well, minding my black business this week. I came across a woman, Natalie Ole... Oh my gosh, I'm going to say this very wrong. Odeluwayo.
She sounds Nigerian.
I had to write it phonetically so that I would not
I love that
say
you
it
did
wrong.
That.
Okay, Nadia Odeluwayo.
All right.
Yes, because we can pronounce...
Another keyword, Delulu. She's delusionally optimistic.
She's delusionally optimistic. Shout out to the Delulus. I think there needs to be a Delulus. The Delulus.
They're Delulu land. I want to be here forever.
Yeah, I love it here.
Great.
I love it here. But anyway, she's the founder and CEO of an app called the Story Graph, which is basically a competitor to Goodreads. So she's taking on Amazon, which Amazon acquired Goodreads. But she has an app. She built this app in her spare time. So she was not an engineer undergrad. She went to Oxford. She's British. Oxford. Yeah, she went to Oxford. But she graduated. I guess she was trying to get in an entrepreneurial program, didn't get into it, but they were like, oh, but we'll put you in this coding program. And she was like, what am I supposed to do with that? But she was like, no, I'm gonna make the most of this.
Right.
And so so she learned how to code in this like intensive and then became a software engineer for 5 years. And in her spare time, she said she had 2 passion projects. One was building an app that would give you running route recommendations, and the other was one that would give you reading recommendations, which is basically what everybody wants.
Right.
And so she built an app that basically does that. So it tracks your reading progress for what you're reading, and then based on your preferences will give you recommendations on what to read next.
Wow.
So it's very popular. It has 3.7 million users
to
date. She's still the only developer and programmer on the team. Yes.
So she owns this outright. It's her own thing.
It's her own thing. And she built it herself and is continually the only engineer and developer on the team. Because she's Delulu. She said she's delusionally optimistic about her own capabilities. And she's like, why can't I do it?
Have you been on it?
I have. I haven't downloaded it, but I went on the website. I just found out about it 2 days ago.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
I am absolutely 100% going to have it installed on my phone and we'll be testing it. And I looked up coding intensives because I was like, oh, well, why not? Should I add that to my list? Do I want to learn how to code? And so for those listening, if you have the same question I do, let me tell you a few things about it.
I might as well just add coding to the list I'm going to do of things.
Because you know what? I would need $10,000 in my pocket right now and some land.
And some land. I'm not talking unless y'all give me some land.
I'm not talking unless I have $10,000 in my pocket right now and some land. She has to be. So anyway, so
Onijah.
So in the spirit of Onijah, for that $10,000, you can actually go to a coding intensive. It's a 16-week immersive coding boot camp. The one that our friend Nadia went to, the Makers Academy in London, 16 weeks and about $10,000 or a little bit more. But there are all kinds of coding boot camps and intensives around here. And if you don't have $10,000, there are free resources that are kind of been cobblestone together where it's the same kind of thing. You can do it in your spare time, but you can learn to code and you don't have to spend $10,000 to go to an intensive, but you can. In almost every city, there are coding workshops. So you too, if you have an idea and if you're doing your meditation for Black Future Month and you decide you want to build an app, you can do it too. So I just wanted to share that story. I will put the link to her Today.
That so much.
She's on the Today Show, and the interview will be in the show links. Interview link.
That's awesome. Well, my Black business today is focused on Charles Warren and his sweet ginger vapor rub.
I love it.
So already. We're at a big age, and things hurt.
We're at cruising altitude,
but they hurt.
Yeah, things hurt. There's turbulence,
and there's definitely turbulence. Oh, man. He is an herbalist, certified herbalist. He has a family-operated company in North Carolina. All of their products are hand-mixed, hand-poured, and made with love, which I love that description. And you know how back in the day, like, you know, when we were sick,
Vicks
was like the cure-all.
Rub it on your chest. Yeah, rub it on your chest.
And then you drink a little ginger ale and some crackers and you're good.
And you wrap up real tight.
This is that, but like on a whole nother level.
A whole other level.
This ginger vapor rub, I bought 4 of them joints. I bought
now, how
one
did you find out about this?
on IG, as usual. IG recommends things to you. Mm-hmm. So I came across this thing, and because my mom has arthritis, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to try it. But then it has other uses like headaches, muscle aches, joint aches, congestion, all that stuff. My mom swears by it.
Really?
She showed me the container that she had. When I say she scraped,
it's empty.
It is empty.
She said that it made her feel better?
Girl, she said she was able to walk, sleep, relax, enjoy life. And she was like, can you buy more? I went to go buy more.
I'm about to get this from my mom.
And they were sold out, but they re-upped. So I bought 4. And they're not expensive. They're like $24 a pop.
I'm about to, okay, well, enough said.
Listen,
at least worth a try, so we'll do it.
Just the mere smell of it.
This is not sponsored, by the way.
It's not sponsored. But the mere smell, it also smells divine. It's like Calgon, take me away.
This is a pure discovery.
I'm aging myself, but you know that commercial Calgon, take me away?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
That's what it's.
When you smell it, oh my anyways, okay, so in it's almond oil, organic beeswax, shea butter. I don't even know how to pronounce this. This is another kind of butter I've never heard of before.
Where is it?
Kapuaku butter.
Oh.
Eucalyptus, ginger, and peppermint.
Kapasau?
It's
Is there a little thing under the C?
No, there's nothing under the C. Oh yeah, the CD. No, it's not there. But it's all about anti-inflammatory. Like this rub is supposed to happen. If you're inflamed, it will uninflame you. It will moisturize your skin. It will help you with headaches. It will. I'm not kidding.
It's a miracle.
It's literally a miracle bomb, and my mom swears by it.
Well, I will try it and report back and see how.
Because I'll
send one to my mom, and then we'll just have a little taste test.
Fix your life
not
with
to
that
eat it, obviously.
Sweet ginger vapor rub.
Okay,
that's my the Black business.
Shout out to the Black business and the creative inventions.
So what's good for you this week?
Warren. The Grammys were surprisingly good.
Yeah,
for me,
the Grammys were good.
I have been to the Grammys in person, and I've watched on television, and I like watching on television because when you go, it's such a big environment. You're always missing something you can't really
experience it.
Yeah, so you get the best camera angles. I always say, and you don't have to walk in heels around LA Live area.
Right,
but
I've been there.
But this year, right? I'm like the award shows.
It's not fun.
It's not as fun as you think it would. The parties are fun.
The parties are fun,
but the actual show itself,
it's not fun.
Is a slog. So the not that I wouldn't go again, but just but the angles on television, the television experience is wonderful. It was. So this year, I thought it was fantastic. I thought the flow was great. I thought the performances were great.
Phenomenal.
Really enjoyed it. I thought the message was on point. I loved the tributes to LA.
They raised a lot of money, which was great. I
think they raised the bar.
They did. And I think
they raised money and the bar.
The way that they, you're right about that. The way that they did the Best New Artist section, I thought was chef's kiss.
Yeah.
And some of those artists I didn't even know about.
Yeah.
So, but.
Which is what you want to feel like you're discovering
exactly.
something.
And it felt, the winners were unexpected. The music felt like, music is back. Like you had Sabrina Carpenter, you had Doechii, you had Tate Swims, you had Gaga and Bruno.
It was
really
you want to
nice.
See. It was so good.
It was back to the Grammys that we used to see like in the 90s.
Why the Grammys was the Grammys.
Yeah, it was really good Grammys.
Well, so after that, my mom was in town and we went to the Grammy Museum in Los Angeles, which is in the LA Live area. If you have not been, you must go. You must go. It is absolutely fantastic. But of course, my mom wanted to go to the Luther exhibit, so we went and saw Luther.
Have you seen the doc, by the way?
Oh my goodness!
So
yes, good. I just love that commitment to excellence. That he's just
love me some Luther.
You realize what an incredible singer, but you don't realize he's a producer and a writer and an arranger and a creative director. He created, directed all of his costumes for his dancers.
The tours and
they
all that.
have the background dancers' costumes, and you have to go see the elaborate design, the sequence.
Oh yes,
the
I mean
ruffles,
you could tell on screen.
The bustling.
Yeah.
He designed.
He put on a show.
Of that.
I wish I got a chance to see him.
I wished. But and then there's a section where you hear him doing his arrangement and his composing of like several songs, and you hear him doing the singing and the sketching out what the melodies will be, and I forget the songs that are there, but they do that and then they do the final song, so you can like listen to the process. It just really takes you into his world, and you learn so much. But the other piece of that, because I think that's not a permanent exhibit, is the second floor, which is the playground. So this is date night. This is family playtime daytime play, family date night, family date day. You must go, and you allocate 4 hours. And if you can go when it's not busy, because that's what my mom and I went in the middle of the day. Nobody was there. We had it all to ourselves, which is amazing.
Dope.
But it is an area where they have every instrument you can imagine. They have instruments that aren't even instruments. They have a DJ setup where you can mix and scratch.
That's dope.
And they have videos from people who you would recognize who are giving you instruction on how to utilize the equipment. So you get to have a real immersive experience trying it. So we were able to mix and scratch in the turntables. We were able to play. I played the drums. We were able to play the what's the little guitar thing with the piano keyboard? I forgot. It's called maybe it's a vocoder or something. Anyway, there's
you
guitars.
know better than me because I don't know.
You can do voiceover practice and record a voiceover
that's really
demo.
cool.
You can record a song. My mom and I sang a duet of Happy and recorded it.
Oh, I love that.
I've never heard her like sing. My mom is a performer. She needs to have her own show.
Mom. She's so sweet.
I was like, this is the most, we had so much fun. So if you haven't been to the Grammy Museum, come to LA.
I'm gonna have to go.
You've got to go.
Never thought of that.
It's a date idea. It's a day with the girls. It's just a destination. You're looking for something fun to do, and
I love it.
Go bring some people with you.
So let's move on to health and healing.
Yes.
So mine, I have a youth maintenance hack that I discovered.
Youth maintenance. I love that terminology. That's
you came up with it.
Oh, I said it.
Yep.
Okay.
You came up with it.
I was like, that's exactly
that sounds
right.
good.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You.
Oh, okay.
So
Oops.
youth maintenance hack. 2 things. Rubber bands on your ears.
Oh.
Helps with lymphatic drainage and depuffing your face. Shout out to Dr. David Kim on IG. I saw it came up on my feed. Okay. I tried it immediately.
Where does the rubber band go?
So the rubber band, you tighten the rubber band around your ears.
Yeah.
Your earlobe. And you do it for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Depuff. Immediately. It happens like
around the whole ear like that?
Yep, around the whole ear.
Okay.
It works immediately.
Okay.
Yes, works like a charm. And then I suffer with hyperpigmentation. And so I have discovered azelaic acid. Azelaic acid to help with it. Because before I'd been using discoloration defense by Skin Cuticles, which works.
Yeah. Skin Cuticles is a good brand.
Skin Cuticles, great brand.
They have effective, high-potency skincare.
I was also using Youth to the People vitamin C serum to get rid of the dark circles.
You have to be... So vitamin C, we could do a whole segment about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you found a vitamin C serum.
Yes, because it helps. Because helps with
dark. Can be
very
finicky.
And you need like 10-15%.
Yeah,
the percentage
and ascorbic acid
matters
preferably.
Correct. So those are my health and healing hacks this week. Very straight to the point. Youth maintenance.
Azelaic acid.
Do you have the rubber bands? Try the rubber band around your ear.
No, we're pro.
10 minutes. It works like a charm.
Okay.
It was crazy.
Well, I'm gonna try it. My one hack. Yeah. So my mom she saw this on social media and she said, oh, everybody's talking about this magnesium oil that you put in the bottom of your feet.
Oh, yes, I haven't tried that.
Okay, so I haven't either. But what I did do, I have Epsom salts. Epsom salt.
Yeah.
So, I have like cheap foot bath. Everybody has that like foot bath the foot soaker.
Yeah.
That like vibrates. And and like supposed to heat up, but it never heats up. I have that. So I filled it with water and Epsom salt, which is magnesium sulfate. It's basically magnesium. It's what would be in magnesium oil.
So when you did it, you probably fell right asleep, didn't you?
I felt energized and also relaxed. So I was like, this is an easy if you don't want to fill your tub up, you don't want to do like a magnesium Epsom bath.
Yeah.
You can put your feet in it could be like a bucket. But just fill it up with the Epsom salt for your feet.
There's something about the feet.
It's grounding.
The acupuncturist. I used to go to acupuncturist and told me like the points in the feet and what that access and yada yada yada. So I love that. I'm going to try that now.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about like grounding when people say walk with no shoes on, barefoot outside,
right.
And then you're able to have the current from the earth
come in,
through your body and especially like when you're in the sun. So I'm like, this is a way of doing something like that where you're getting the Epsom salt.
I love that.
And put your feet in the water, something easy to do because everybody may not want to be walking around in the grass.
I was just outside
barefoot
earlier and I was directly in the sun and I felt so good. Because it's been raining the last couple of days here.
So the ground is wet too, so that's perfect. Or walking on the wet sand would be another way of doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Wet sand, yeah, for sure.
All right.
But if you're doing it at home or you're landlocked and you're listening, we got something for you.
Got a little bit of something for everybody.
For everybody.
We inclusive over here.
Exactly. We like inclusion. We like it.
So the final word. Because we're gonna wrap it up.
Yes, we are.
I feel like someone needs to hear. I don't know who needs to hear this, but
if this for you, it's for you.
If folks have been disappearing from your life, it's probably because God is reducing your circle because he's heard conversations that you didn't.
Whoop, whoop, bloop, bloop. Bloop. Okay.
What's your final word?
In the midst of uncertainty, like now, don't concede the future.
Amen.
Step into the delusional space of being the light you want to see in the world, even if it's just in your mind for now. What do you want?
If I had known delulu or delusion would be the word of the day, I would have said, take a shot for every time you hear this word.
I know. Maybe
I don't know what the word count
again.
is, but the word count is actually, you know what I'm going to...
We need to do that the next episode.
I want you at home to re-listen to this episode and take a shot for every time we say delulu or delusional because we done said that word at least 20 times.
This is a party game. So because we know you want to tell your friends about this podcast. So when you do and you share this episode, listen to it with a friend, re-listen to it with a friend,
seriously,
and play the drinking game. Take a shot. You could take a shot of what's it called? Wheatgrass if you want to.
Ew, not wheatgrass.
It could be healthy. It doesn't have to be.
It's Friday. Take a shot.
January is officially
Uncle
over.
Nearest. Oh, Uncle Nearest.
Yeah, take a shot of Uncle Nearest.
Black-owned American whiskey. Best whiskey of the year. Voted like 7 times in a row.
Nikki T never fails.
Yes, that's what you should do. Uncle Nearest whiskey. Take a shot for every time you hear the word delulu.
Bloop.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.